Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
Well
Thank you so much, everybody.
Joining us.
You made quite an impression. Everybody out there was whooping and
Oh, there they
hooting.
are.
Wonderful,
Hi.
wonderful. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Very excited about the Heartbreak Club. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Don't break our
Yes.
hearts, Cinn mon Bun.
I'm
Yes.
trying not to, but
You did it really
I
good.
have. This is the one Valentine's Day stuff I have to kind of
Hey,
show off.
It's
So
Hand me
so
that
beautiful.
wardrobe.
I know Tyler's
This
looking
is-
at that hoodie. I know Tyler needs that.
yeah, he looks like he's a cozy kind of guy. But yeah, very happy to be here. Happy to be on such like a legendary show as Trevor and Alyssa. Congratulations, guys, on the sponsorship. Cardania's awesome. So I see you guys making moves as well. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
We're very excited to be working with Cardania, one of our favorite projects. Thank you very much. We're also very excited to have you on. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, here we go. This is a very special time, especially for what you're working on right now. Can you tell us
Exactly.
about
It's
it?
the most perfect day for it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. It's been a very eventful day. We're really excited to be dropping a project, kind of specializing in Valentine's Day, and it is the Heartbreak Club. Um, we've been working, for 6 months on a project that we wanted to bring, just some validity to the space and kind of make it unique. I really like Valentine's Day. We used to have to kind of make the little cutout things that you post on the front of your desk, and the kids go around and drop the candy in, and you
That
had
was
to give it to
so fun.
everybody. And so
Yeah.
it was really nice. Everybody had to give you candy, and I'm always a big
We
fan
should
of
bring
that.
that back.
Yes, yes, we should. So this is something that we've been working on with a few younger conceptual artists within our collective here with Vince 100X from 100X Fake Pool, and yeah,
And
essentially it's an
because I didn't realize that they were the
yes.
same person.
Yeah, we work together on Worlds Within as well. Yeah, he's been working diligently. He's a builder in Cardano. He's huge into VR gaming. He's huge into the gaming space in general. He has his own server on Discord with several thousand members. So we're just the goal, I think, with Worlds Within was trying to bring the metaverse and VR experience into individual NFTs. We sold them originally at 8 ADA a piece, so we wanted everybody to have access to them quickly.
So cool.
And so we like this word of mouth approach, right? We like this grassroots approach where.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oopsies.
As soon as I popped it up, he
Oh,
vanished.
Shart, we love you
I
so
broke his
much.
heart.
I know you might have.
We'll take this moment to say what up to Shart. Thanks for stopping by while you had the chance. Okay, welcome back.
Okay.
Sorry, not sure what
Can
happened
you guys
there.
hear me okay?
Yeah,
You're back.
great.
I wanted
You're
to show
great.
this off, and I guess it might have
It
short-circuited.
overloaded.
Okay,
Oh man,
yes.
the website looks so good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just I made a tweet out. We actually literally just went live. I'm not even joking. We went live right as you guys are pulling me up here. So we were supposed to go live at midnight. We had a little node sync issue that we kind of had to deal with, and we put ourselves in a position where we didn't want to take anybody's ADA before we figured things out. But it's a algorithmically generated PFP project. There's 2,000 pieces, and essentially it's parallel to this clothing line that we're developing alongside. So if you buy 5 NFTs, if you buy 5 NFTs, you get a T-shirt, and then if you buy 10 NFTs, you get the bundle with the 10 NFTs, the hoodie, and the T-shirt. And so that's what this Heartbreak Club hoodie is from. It's so Vince already has a VR clothing shop already called vrwear.com, and so he already has the infrastructure to kind of make this happen.
Wear?
It's WEAR.
Okay. Okay, cool.
vrwear.com, I believe. If it's not .com, it's .io.
Okay, so he's already got what it takes to make this happen.
I can't find this. Yeah, sorry. He's gonna yell at me in a second. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, once you've I'll be happy to pop that up.
Yeah, no problem.
Is it
vrwear.net? vrwear.net.
There it is. It's with an EAR.
Yes.
Okay.
So he, like I said, he has his VR server called Ignite, which has a lot of people in it, and so we're building Worlds Within around that. Heartbreak Club is kind of a dive into that, except with fashion. And so we're building out these NFTs. We've spent a lot of time hand drawing them. The artists are amazing, you know, and then so we have this infrastructure in place to already manufacture a lot of clothing items too. And so what we're doing in the future with the NFTs is that we're going to introduce airdrop tokens, right, at certain snapshots throughout the year. And so if you hold a specific number of Heartbreak Club NFTs, you'll get that, you know, specific number of airdrop tokens. And then you'll be able to, you know, access different tiers of the merchandise store. And this
Nice.
will start out with like kind of base level stuff like t-shirts, hoodies. You know, if you have one Heartbreak Club, you know, at the airdrop, you'll be able to access the t-shirt, etc. If you have more, you can access things that'll be a little bit more personalized, some like embroidered stuff, some, you know, higher end tiers. So the the lifeblood of the project is like the younger kids. Like they're 18 years old and they've actually like taken school off to do Cardano over coffee today.
Wow.
So they're really heavily involved in the project, and we're, you know, committed to bringing quality merchandise too. Everything's printed in the United States, and it's all done through our own company already. So
All
it was
right.
just kind of a natural fit for us, and
Yeah.
we love Valentine's Day, and so yeah, that's what we're working on today. Obviously, Worlds Within, he has like the marketplace coming soon, and the new display, the Explorer. There's a lot of new stuff going on with Worlds Within too, so we're staying busy with a lot.
Damn, I'm gonna have to check out that Discord too for sure. That's so cool.
Yeah,
So these kids actually took off school today. That's great.
yeah,
Got to for
they're
drop day.
yeah. You know, like like I said, we were supposed to drop at midnight, and you know we with the congestion and everything, we understood that we could take ADA and we could trace back the transactions, but we were decided, you know, let's make sure the sync issue gets resolved, and so it's finally working. I actually made a tweet about it, and so yeah, everything's up and running. The mint's working fine. I'm getting my NFTs, and they're coming out cleanly. So it's been a long progress, but it's exciting at the same time, you know.
How much is it for 5 in the shirt?
So it's 35 per, and so the 5 is 175, and then the 10 is for the hoodie and the t-shirt bundle.
Right.
It is a lot, but like I said, if you have, you know, one Heartbreak Club now, you'll be able to get the shirts with the airdrop tokens whenever we decide to do the first round of airdrops, likely within the springtime. We want community members to also contribute, and we're going to reach out to several existing NFT projects who've expressed interest. Don't really want to say their names, but they're like big people who we kind of share a lot alike, and we see them a lot in Real Talk or other spaces. And we're just going to combine efforts and see what the community wants, and then create the merchandise, and then you'll have access to it with the airdrop token.
That's so cool.
You guys got plans.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy about more merch being in
physical,
the CNFT
bring it into
community.
the real world, right?
This year is going to
Yeah,
be
yes.
that, I think.
Maybe next
I think so,
Valentine's Day
too.
I'll have a Heartbreak shirt to wear
Exactly.
instead of this.
Definitely.
That would be amazing.
Definitely. And so, you know, we purchased a major pagoda. Worlds Within did at CNFT Con, and so we're also planning on doing the same at Rare Bloom as well. And so the Heartbreak Club is also going to serve as, you know, if you see us in person, you'll have access to merch there. And so
Frick yeah.
I agree. I think there's kind of a lack of like physical things, whether it's like toys or clothes or whatever. We're just lagging a little bit behind. And so with our infrastructure, we're ready to just like make cool stuff and, you know, build a community around that, because we're about the art, and we're really excited about our PFPs. We really like them. We're just also excited about creating a community around like fashion and, you know, sharing some of those similar things too. So it's all really exciting right now.
And attracting other people through that, because like now on our Patreon, you can get a CNFT news cup. And if someone sees you drinking with a cup or wearing a sweatshirt, they'll ask you about it. And they asked you about it, which means you're free to talk all about CNFTs all you want. And then they'll have to FOMO.
They have to
come in.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would love to know about how you and Vince connected, and like kind of just like some of your experience coming into this space to begin with.
Yeah, so honestly, I really I found a fascination with NFTs about a year ago, and Ethereum kind of kept me away with gas. It just seemed to kind of not make sense as something
Yeah.
that was going to take the place of a financial institution such as gold, credit, fiat currencies, etc. And so when I landed in Cardano, and I realized that there were people making NFTs, I hate to say that that was the roadblock, but a lot made sense for me in that moment in time where it was like the
Yeah.
art, proof of authenticity. Some of the people involved with fashion and supply chain economics. It was really interesting to me. So I went down a rabbit hole and popped out with minting a bunch of unsigs was kind of my genesis into the
Yes, yes,
space.
yes.
Yeah, and so I really
Right.
dived down into that rabbit hole, and I don't really associate myself as much as a flipper. A lot of people really kind of subscribe to that, and they do that, which is great. Like I love people who can make profit via like reading
I don't
markets
understand it.
on.
I'm so impressed.
Well,
Yeah.
Too afraid
yeah,
to tell
Yeah.
anything.
not me as much either,
Okay.
but like I love it, right? Like the degens and like all that stuff, and that's why I love my co-host K-Dev on Real Talk, is because he's worked from a few CNFTs all the way up to a mutant ape just kind of by flipping and stuff, and so
Wow.
the long to asset aspect is interesting, and so having that there is great. But I just kind of liked building and creating, and then my love of fashion led me to go to the Wyoming summit like in September, and
Yeah.
it was a networking event, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and just go and
Oh,
meet
yeah.
and network. And Vince and I ended up talking about sneakers for about 3 hours. There was about 12 people at this bar,
It's so
and
great.
him and I just started going back and forth about sneakers.
Yeah, I
Like we
like
could
that.
not stop talking about it. And so after that, he showed me Worlds Within, and as soon as he pulled out his phone and kind of like held it up in different directions, used the VR tracker, I was like, this guy's really special. He's committed to building on Cardano, and he knows VR as well. It's like he's
Mhm.
bringing his love of VR and gaming into the Cardano ecosystem. So I yeah, just learned from him a lot. He's a great mentor. He's a great friend. And so yeah, we're out here in Dallas now. I moved halfway across the country, and we
Wow.
call it we call it like the Cardano house, because
Serious.
we're literally just
That's
talking
so
about Cardano all
cool. That's
day and
so
like
cool.
yelling back and forth. Yeah, it's
It's like
great.
our
So
house. Oh man. Happy and sad for you at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's the
I'm so
degen
glad
stuff
you did
gets
that.
real, but yeah, the stress of the drop was great, but we're happy to be working together, and it's really great to just be so in on Cardano. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you went to the summit to go to a networking event, and it ended up being a much better, different networking event than you ever could have imagined.
Right, right. Yeah.
That's what we
Total
felt.
life change.
Yeah, exactly. For you especially. I mean, what a
Mm-hmm.
wild thing to move for Cardano.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
who
that's
wouldn't
cool.
though? At this point, we all would. Let's.
I mean,
If
if it was
they said we
time, I'd
couldn't do it
you
in
know?
in this country, we would all be moving.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, the timing just works out, for some people. And I think that was the great thing with Real Talk, is like going to Miami, going to the summit, being able to host these spaces. There really is power in, a physical meetup, and that's why I'm so bullish on
Mhm.
events like Cardano, the CNFT Con, Rare Bloom, these and like even local events that we're starting to put together. It kind of starts online, but I think very soon we're going to be able to see, in the different cities we're at, like-minded people, and it's just great to be a part of it all, like kind of, starting to grow right now.
Definitely. And it will bring people in even more from these physical events happening more, just like the merch will.
Yeah, definitely. Vince hosts actually a Dallas, like Texas Cardano meetup, and so since I've moved here, my network on Twitter has kind of combined with his, and so
Cool.
we had 15 people, I think, last month, and now this month there's going to be 20 or 30, and so we plan on having Heartbreak Club merch there, the NFT kind of display if there's any left. We're really excited about just kind of building it both locally and showing just the potential of what cool like-minded young minds can do on Cardano. Like
Mhm.
the opportunities are really endless. So
Hell yeah.
A wild thing.
Well, about Real Talk,
Yeah.
like, How long have you been doing it? And so you went to Basel too with it? You went to
What
Art
is
Basel?
Real Talk?
Yeah, okay. Tell us about Real Talk.
I want to hear the basics.
Yeah. So Twitter Spaces, yeah, it's been a wild ride. Real Talk is our weekly Twitter Spaces I do with myself, KDev on Twitter, who is kind of our NFT degen sniper, and then David King, who is at the Uttermost, who's
he was at our
very well known. Right.
He was one of our magical people.
Sure, he went to the New York Summit. He's kind of our tech guy. He's a really brilliant developer and coder, and also he's an amazing sniper. Like, let's admit it, he's on CNFTs. Like, he's an OG. So really, it's just kind of we started off in such different camps, and then we were just like, hey, like, we have this Tuesday that works out well for us. It started out with Joel Madden from Good Charlotte joining me randomly.
That was my memory.
Right. Yeah. Eventually he kind of, he's really into Solana right now, which is great. And he's kind of exploring the ecosystem wherever. But for us, the three of us, we really just like to talk about up and coming CNFT projects, DeFi, gossip. We try and have these open conversations between multi-pool operators and stake pool operators, really anything that is kind of important for Cardano people to catch up on, whether it's, protocol stuff, drama, because honestly, we're still such a small community that I think there's a little bit of validity in everything, whether or not it's rumor or, hearsay, et cetera, et cetera. We try and only talk about real things and be upfront, which is the Real Talk kind of, mantra. But yeah, we really like to just kind of chop it up about whatever, and it's been a lot of fun. And we've actually, we're coming up on our 20th episode, so almost 5 months now, believe it or not.
Wow. X claps.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's exciting.
Well, I really appreciate the name Real Talk, because that's exactly what we need to do. And I totally agree with any kind of controversy that comes up these days. It generally it's valid to discuss. Like, it's people
to poke a little bit,
Yeah, there are actually things going on that we're all affecting much more than we normally would be. So it's like,
and you learn more about situations from doing Twitter Spaces like that. I know the whole multi-stake pool versus single stake pool thing. There's all this butting heads until everyone got into a Twitter Space together, and
it was really funny. Yeah. And Tyler, you've been a huge supporter. You seem to be in a lot of the Real Talk, so it's great to see. And you guys as well, CNFT. It's really great to see, myself who, 10 months ago didn't know a whole lot, kind of have these conversations around me. And so, I try and keep it to be honest. And just like Tyler said, when everybody's sitting down, listening to people's voices, it seems to do a big difference to kind of bring emotions down and then understand the empathy and where people are coming from a little bit easier, rather than, you called me this in 280 characters on Twitter. And Twitter's a powerful thing, but it can go both ways so quickly. And so for Real Talk, it's always nice to just, okay, we can get this out of the way. You're not a totally evil person. You're not like this guy on a white horse.
The humanity.
Right. Yeah. Everybody take a deep breath. We're working on a blockchain. Of course, there's going to be competition, but we're also so early on this protocol that is really doing a lot of things that we've wanted it to do for 10 years now. And so the tech is finally here. So really, to me, I think a lot of these conversations in 5 years are going to be pretty silly. So it's really important to kind of take your time and just understand this calm that you have. And we're all so early, and it's really fun to just be a part of it all, to be honest. So yeah.
Well, that brings me, I was wondering what brought you to Cardano specifically, and what keeps you in Cardano
what kept you
and community.
Yeah, so I mean, in my personal life, I was actually a chef for 7 years.
And
cool.
Nice.
It was something I just kind of fell into. And then after that, I went back to school. I started at junior college and was like, I'm going to just give, a science degree another try, something a little bit more stable. Being a chef is really tough. You work a lot of long hours, and it's difficult work. But halfway through that, COVID struck. And so I could still go to school online, but a lot of my, organic chemistry, my physics classes, a lot of my labs were online, and I'm not the best online student. I'm now the kind of person who sits in the front row and like asks a lot of questions and is super annoying. Go figure. So it was nice to just kind of take a break from everything really, and just to take a step back. And that's when I had a little bit of change in my pocket, and after doing a little bit of research with my cousin, we separately went into Cardano and just never looked back. And like I said, with unsigs and like timing, like I have to reiterate, my personal timing lined up in my life where I could take a big chunk and dedicate it to Cardano, right? Because not everybody is just like, oh, I fell into
this
Cardano
happened and now I can,
it happened. It's like it really lined up where I had a metered time. Yeah. And so with relationships, with school, it's like with work, a lot of this stuff, and with COVID, it's like there's so much that like it doesn't happen like that. So it really was just a lot of luck too that flipping NFTs and minting worked out so well and went beyond paying my rent that I was like, okay, well, I should learn more about finance, and I should learn more about long assets and DeFi and like really the capabilities of blockchain. And so after linking up with like-minded individuals, it's kind of a continuation of all that really. Just I meet exciting people every day. I talk about art. I talk about life-changing, potentially financial sectors. It's like where can I see, a piece of Tyler with Spaces art on my Twitter feed, and then like later in the night go interview a CEO at like the leading AMM decks on Cardano. It's like I used to be a chef. You know what I mean? This is so exciting, and it's like for me personally, it's such a great thing for me to be a part of. It's because I kind of always knew I had a mind for a lot of this stuff, but the path wasn't there. And so now it's like through art and friends and like CNFTs, that was kind of the way. And so I'm really just embracing that and trying to bring the best and like most honest I can, with all that. So I hope that answers that question.
That answers it
Very
so
thoroughly.
Beautifully. You're gonna make me cry. I'm so happy that you were able to do that, because it is. I mean, I just could relate so much. Like just feeling like, okay, I guess the thing I need to do is like go into some medical thing. Like it's really important to have that time where you decide, what do I really want? What do I really want, instead of like what society has always kind of put on me and I think I'm supposed to want so that I can be paid enough to live,
Right, right. And that's super hard everywhere. And it's not going to happen for everybody, and it doesn't happen for everybody. And I do want to just reiterate, I am so grateful, and that kind of reinforces the fact that I do want to bring honesty here. There's a lot of people who had money and they can start off with XYZ, and whether or not whatever they do, they can use that and move a little bit easier, right? And it's the people who have to start from scratch
every time,
have to bring value, and they have to bring community, and they have to bring realness, because that's really all they have to offer is like themselves. They don't have like wash trading available. They can't pump volume, and they can't do all this stuff. And there's a place for that, right? It's because we're all humans, and like this is a financial system. But I think it's very special to connect with like-minded individuals where it is really just about the art, it's about the math, it's about the code, and it's about, in a trustless system, building trust, like building these connections over clothes, over pictures, over shiny things. And it's like, it's just a very special time. So yeah, I'm proud of anybody who's able to do it. And, the path will make its way clear one way or the other.
Yeah. And it's like crazy that we have this whole world that like I just never thought I'd be living so digitally, and it's crazy how this financial stuff like lends a realness to it that you never that I never had before. It just makes the relationships go deeper somehow.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really special. It's very new.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's going to be like
but
as
the honesty
we go forward.
Is very important. Yes.
We got to keep try and keep a hold of it and keep
that real talk
keep
going.
it honest. Exactly. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's I think for a lot of people it's new. We have to be careful not to burn out. There was a section back in December where I was literally like, because we go from like 100 followers right to like 3,000, and it's like, what do we do with
I
that?
know.
Because I used to talk a lot of smack back in the day. There's a
Yeah.
reason why I have a little chili pepper, and I realize now that
Tyler goes off.
yeah, in this path, I don't want to put that X on certain projects just because I don't
Yeah.
vibe with it, right? There's rates of change and those variables change. And so reeling it in, you have to understand and what brings out the truth in you still. And so yeah, I see what you guys do with like focusing on mental health. I see what you guys doing with, bringing a little bit of calm to this space too. And like, I want to reiterate that importance too, just as much as, the hustling and the sniping. It's like nobody can actually do that forever, right? It's like that's not sustainable. It's like we're not built for that in this digital world. We're still animals, or we're still built of whatever. And so
Totally.
it's great to see you guys bringing a focus to that too. Like that's just as important as anything, DeFi or CNFT related. So it's great.
And they just make each other more powerful. They make each other stronger if you do both of them.
Exactly.
I love that you have like a bunch of different people representing, like on Real Talk. Like, I like how you seem to have a bunch of different kinds of communities coming together. I think that is really helpful for having a balanced view,
Yeah. Thank you very much. We try really hard. It's very curated. We don't have everybody who wants to come on.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of like selected groups, and that's just the way that it works for Real Talk. But I appreciate you saying that. It's something that I think everything from CNFT projects to really wealthy VC funded efforts, they kind of have a place in the table, and same with education, right? So people can understand not only how to make money, but so they understand not how to get wrecked with impermanent loss on DeFi, or if it's a rug pull on a CNFT. Like, that's kind of my bigger focus, rather than people making money, is like new people coming into the space not getting wrecked. Like, that's honestly most important for me overall. So whether it's tapping in with mental health or teaching people about Real Talk, it's all like you said, it makes each other stronger.
So when does Real Talk happen? What's the schedule?
Real Talk is every Tuesday. It happens on, let's see here. I moved from West Coast to Central. So
Let's see.
7 Central, or like 8 Eastern. Also
That's
1
right.
a.m. UTC.
You're
so
correct.
It is a little late for Europe, but we do that every week. It usually goes from about 3 to 4 hours. It goes quite a long time.
We feel that.
Yeah, the time flies, when the conversation is rich. But the one thing we do is we like to have everybody who wants to come up and talk that opportunity. So anybody who raises their hand, requests speaker, eventually they'll be given the chance to, come up and speak. So that's kind of our whole tenet. So that happens weekly.
That's a cool idea. Everybody will get a say at some point, even if this has to go on for 5 hours.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Maybe it'll be a 2-part episode, depending how many hands are up.
Is there anything specific that you'd want people to know about your projects or about what you're doing out in the space? Is there one message that you want to get out there?
I think, a lot of people, what they do with their efforts in the blockchain is they like to take their investments and then kind of back out and move it on to something else. One thing that has been paramount for me and the people that I work with is like, we're committed to reinvesting our efforts into Cardano. I don't want to say our profits, but I want to say like what we're building, we want to build on Cardano, right? I'm in Cardano full time now. And so whether it's fashion or whether it's the metaverse or whether it's meeting up in person, I just want people to know that whatever that comes from Vince and 100X and us here at Real Talk, it's all kind of this extension of we're going to keep building what we're building, right? It's because like what we talked about earlier, we don't have these huge, sets of funds to just do whatever we want. And then if it doesn't work out, like bail and call it something else. Like, we have to put our names and we have to invest it in ourselves. And so it's really great to see independent artists and like minds do that. And that's what we're doing here here in Dallas. And so, I mean, thank you guys so much for taking the time and having me on and getting the chance for us to share our vision. And yeah, appreciate it so much.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
We love you.
Thank you.
Well, we're very your message is very we're very happy to hear it. That's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I look forward to meeting you guys in Vegas this year. It's going to be great.
After party.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And the summer too. I mean,
Yeah.
We don't talk about you about that.
Yeah.
That's
it's going to
also
be,
a
I
thing.
mean,
Not too long before, like just a couple of weeks before.
Like, I remember my mouth hurt from smiling so much. And then we were like a little sick after from just talking for hours.
It doesn't count if you're not like hoarse a little bit afterwards.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you so much again for coming. This was huge. You have some really great insights, and you clearly thought a lot about what you're doing and the space, and just, we're glad that you're out there doing what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Likewise, you guys are doing great work. Big fans, obviously, like I said, since the beginning. Tyler, your art just like seems to get better by the week. I mean,
it does.
Right back at you guys. So I look forward to seeing what the three of you guys do this year. And everybody, listeners, thank you guys so much for having me again. Appreciate it.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you later. Bye.
Get out there and get your t-shirts.